guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. Now today's video is somewhat different from what I usually would do, but I just thought to share this video today with you guys because I do know I have a lot of content creators that follow me, upcoming creators, smaller creators, bigger creators, and some of you might want to know how to get brands to actually work with you, how to get those paid brand collaborations. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be sharing my little secrets here and there on how I get brands to work with me. Alma, and if you are interested in knowing all of these secrets, then please keep on watching. So before we get right into these things that I do to get brands to work with me, I just want to state here that when a brand wants to work with you, they want to be sure that they are going to get value for their money. That's the number one thing that you should always have in mind. They want to be sure that they're going to be getting value for that money that they are paying you. When it comes to brands working with you, most times your numbers count. Your followers, the number of followers or subscribers you have, your average number of engagements and reach and all of that really matters when it comes to brands working with you. Your audience and your followers like you because of your brand, and brands in turn like you because of your audience, because they want to get their products, their services out in the open through you to your audience. Okay, so let's just get right into my little secrets here and there on how I get these brands to work with me. Number one, which has to be the most important, which is why it's number one, is I stay consistent. I stay consistent, you guys, as tough as it is, as difficult as it is, because my own case is even worse. Being a mom, I barely even have time, but I have to squeeze out that time so badly, like so badly. If you guys have noticed, my consistency on YouTube has gone haywire. I don't upload every day yet, but I am doing at least 2-3 times a week now, and I have seen the growth on my channel here on YouTube, and the same thing goes for Instagram as well. It can be difficult, you guys, and sometimes might even have creators block. You don't even know what to upload anymore, you don't even know what to post anymore on Instagram. But I stay consistent, and to stay consistent I stay inspired. Okay, I look at what other creators are doing, I get inspiration from there. I don't copy anybody, but I get inspiration from what other creators are doing, and that keeps me neck deep in the consistency. Consistency is key, you guys. You cannot be uploading a video once a month and expect brands to work with you. They will just think you're not serious. Okay, the same thing goes for Instagram as well. You can't post on your feed once in a week and expect brands to work with you. You have to be in people's faces to get noticed. That is what this is all about. So yes, number one is I stay consistent. Number two, I create quality content, videos and photographs. For YouTube, obviously here, videos, and then for Instagram, photographs and also videos here and there. And you guys, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to create quality content. I'm sorry, but you guys, gone are those days that you would just start with what you have, because I'm sorry, YouTube and Instagram right now are such visual apps. People are led by what they see. Like, it has to be pleasing to the eyes for people to want to, you know, connect with you on the internet. So if your content is not clear, if your videos, for instance on YouTube here, the audio is here and there, and your quality, your content, your videos are not sharp, are not crisp, people cannot see you, you are blurry, people are not going to want to connect with you, and you begin to wonder why your subscribers are not growing. It's because your content is not quality. Okay, the same thing goes for Instagram. You can't just take pictures anyhow with anything and post and expect to get engagement. Brands want to know, oh god, you guys, it's getting kind of bright here. I'm using natural light, so in case you guys are seeing me really bright, please, I'm sorry. But brands want to know that I'm going to give you this product to talk about, and we want to see a crisp picture of that product on your feed. Nobody wants to give anybody products to review and pay you for reviewing that product and see a very blurry looking photograph on your feed. It's not going to fly. So quality content is super duper important. Quality, unique, creative content is super important when it comes to getting brands to work with you on the internet. There are 1,000,001 apps right now on iOS store and Google Play Store that help with photo editing, from Lightroom to ViscoCam to Facetune, name it. There are so many of them right now. A lot of them are even free. So even if your camera doesn't take like fantastic pictures, by the time you edit, don't go ham with the editing though, but by the time you edit these photographs on your phone and post them, they would tend to look, you know, more vibrant and, you know, more crisp. So yes, do use what you have. If what you have can give you quality content, then please, by all means, go ahead and use what you have. The same thing goes for videos. A lot of people upload and record videos using their phones, and yes, most of them are, I've seen a lot of videos people use their phones to create that are really crisp. So it all depends on the kind of device that you have. Ensure that you have a good device that can take you decent videos and decent photographs. Number 3, I have a rate card and a media kit. You guys, this is very important. It's important to have a media kit. A media kit is almost like a CV for a content creator. That's basically what a media kit is about. And a rate card is obviously like a document where you have stipulated your rates for different services that you offer on the internet. I'm going to give an example in my case. In my media kit, I outlined, you know, my history as a blogger. I outlined brands I have worked with, together with photographs of, you know, jobs I have done for different brands. Also in my media kit, I have my contact details, I have my account number. Every single thing you need to know about Alma as a content creator is included in my media kit. Super duper important. The same thing goes for my rate card. My rate card is also a document. I highlighted every single service I offer as a content creator, from YouTube videos to Instagram 1-minute videos to Instagram posts to Insta stories to IG takeovers to IGTV, you name it. It's in my rate card, and with each service comes a rate. Okay, now there are so many brands who may not be able to afford what is on your rate card. As long as they have a budget that you feel is good enough for that service they are asking for, then you are good to go. Designing a rate card and a media kit is not rocket science. You guys, if you have not started using Canva by now, I do not know what you are doing with your life. Please, I designed my media kit and my rate card on Canva, and I made sure that my media kit and my rate card have cohesive themes. Okay, so they have a similar color theme, almost like what I want my brand to look like. So my media kit and my rate card have like the same uniform sort of color scheme going on. Super duper important, you guys. Canva is free for most of the things on Canva. Most of the things I use Canva to do, including editing my thumbnails, are completely free. So hop on Canva if you haven't hopped on Canva yet, you guys. Number 4, I do not undervalue myself. Yes, you guys, not every brand is your client. That is one thing people should understand. Not every brand is your client. I do not undervalue myself. I know my worth. I know that if you're paying me to do a 1-minute video for you on Instagram, I know how long it will take me to film that video. I know how much data it will take me to upload that video. I know how much work goes into editing that video. So definitely I would know how to price myself. I do not undervalue myself. There are so many brands out there that might not be able to afford your rates, but if your rates, if what you have in your budget is too small, I know that what you have in your budget cannot even pay for my data, then I'm not going to take that job. That's just it. I don't undervalue myself. In other words, I don't work with every Tom, Dick and Harry brand out there. For instance, I'm just going to give a little example here. I do not take any job for 10,000 naira. I do not. Not YouTube videos, not Instagram posts, nothing. Like I've gone way beyond that. I do not undervalue myself. As a content creator with 11,000 followers on Instagram and about 4,000 subscribers here on YouTube, yay guys, we made it to 4K. I'm so happy. I know how to charge for my services. After I have suffered and kid myself and everything to get this amount of followers on Instagram and this amount of subscribers here on YouTube, I know not to undervalue myself. So guys, do not undervalue yourself. Very important. Number 5 is also something I just mentioned right now. I don't take every job that comes my way. I get numbers and numbers of emails on a daily basis, and not every brand is your client. Like I said before, there are some brands that can reach out to you that do not go with your niche. I know how to separate the brands that I'm supposed to be working with from those that I am not supposed to be working with, and it all applies to you and your niche. No, you as, okay, for instance, assuming you are a faith blogger, for instance, you blog about religion and God and all of that, you may not want to work with a cigarette brand or an alcohol brand, if you guys get what I mean. So that is exactly what I mean by saying that not every brand is your client. Okay, learn to say no sometimes. The money might be tempting sometimes, but learn to say no. The next point I want to, rather the next secret I want to throw in here is that my audience is organic. You guys, I cannot emphasize how important it is for you to grow an organic following on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, anywhere you have your strengths on social media. It's so important for you not to buy fake followers, because that is the beginning of the end of your career as a content creator. You guys, if you buy followers, if you buy fake followers on Instagram, it's going to be, everybody's going to know. Like, it's so obvious. You cannot have, for instance, you cannot have 5,000 followers on Instagram and be getting 5 likes on your pictures. What are the remaining 5,000 people doing? I completely understand that the Instagram algorithm can even make it possible for you not to have as many likes as possible, but 5,000 followers and 5 likes, something is wrong. And thankfully, Instagram has a feature whereby you can click on one's followers and see the people who are following a particular person. If I click on your followers and all I am seeing are foreign, strange bot accounts, I know that you bought followers. You don't even have to tell me anything. I already know. And trust me, brands do their research. Brands do their research. They click on your followers. They want to be sure that your followers are organic and not just bots followers that are literally ghost followers. And the same goes for your subscribers. Are people engaging with your content? They want to know all of this stuff. So please, guys, do not, please, I beg you. If you do not take anything away from this video, please take away this one. Do not buy fake followers. I beg you. Thank you. It may have taken me a long time to grow my following on Instagram to what it is right now. The same thing goes for YouTube, and we're still growing, but I prefer to grow an organic following. I sleep better at night knowing that my followers are all organic and they are subscribed to me. They all follow me for the content that I create. That gives me joy and that gives me peace of mind. Another thing is that one day Instagram can decide to just purge people's fake followers. Instagram does it all the time, and you can imagine having like 20,000 followers and then you lose like 10,000 followers overnight. It happens all the time. I've seen it happen to people all the time. Okay, so guys, please do not buy fake followers. The next point will be that I use hashtags. This goes for Instagram. I still use hashtags in my posts. A lot of people no longer use hashtags. I don't know why, but hashtags still work for me. Most of the time when I look at my analytics on Instagram, I see that most of my reach and engagement comes from hashtags. Most of the time, brands search for relevant hashtags to their own brands. They search for those hashtags to find influencers with top engagements. You guys, believe me, I'm not even joking with you. They do this to see what are these accounts that pop up with the best engagement. And trust me, you'll be shocked that that is how some brands actually reach out to you. It is through your hashtags. And I always make sure to tag brands that I use or brands that I wear, you know, in my posts. It may not even be a paid ad. I might just buy something from a brand today and I like that thing. I would make sure to tag that brand in a post. That automatically shows the brand that, oh, look at me, I'm wearing your stuff, you know, you can actually pay me to wear more stuff for you. And that also shows more brands that are like that to notice that, okay, this person can do something like this. So yes, tag brands that you use, tag brands that you post about, and always use hashtags because they still work. The next secret is that I interact with my followers, and you guys here on YouTube can testify to that. I interact with my followers so much, and it's even much more work for me right now because my subscriber count has increased on YouTube. But you guys can leave as much as 300 comments on my videos and I will still reply to every single comment. You guys, it is a lot of work. Even if it means putting an emoji as a reply on somebody's comments, I always try to do it. Even if it means liking your comments, I always try to engage with you guys. The same thing goes for Instagram. I stay interacting with you guys, and brands want to see that you can interact with your followers, you can talk to your followers, you guys can gel, you guys are rapport. Brands want to see that that's going on. So yes, don't just post something and allow people to comment and then you don't acknowledge their comment. They may not be wanting you to reply, but it's just nice for you to reply comments on your posts and on your videos here on YouTube. If you cannot reply them, then at least like it so that people can know that, oh, she read my comment. Okay, I have 2 more secrets to let you guys in on. The next one is that when I do get a brand collaboration, a paid brand collaboration, I remain professional. I remain professional through the whole correspondence, via emails, all the emails that we are exchanging back and forth. I remain professional, and throughout the collaboration, I remain extremely professional. Brands love it when you're very professional, you guys. I think that is one good thing that my 9-to-5 job did for me. It helped me know the nitty-gritty of being professional via email. It's so important, you guys. It is so important. When you are exchanging emails with a brand, it's very, very important for you to be as professional as possible, because that tells a lot about you and your brand. Also, if you have agreed with a brand to post a video for them on this particular day, please post a video on that particular day. Do not give excuses, do not give stories. If you know you're not going to be able to post that video or do that Instagram post on a particular day, let them know like 2-3 days ahead that, oh, because of so and so reason here and there, I will not be able to do this post. Can we please move to so and so day? Be as professional as possible, because that would also determine if that brand will come back to you tomorrow for another collaboration. You guys, it's so important. Remain professional as possible. It is so important. And then the last but not the least secret is I be myself, you guys. This has to be the most important. The number 1 is very important, and then number 10 now is super duper important. I am myself. I am Alma Ngu. I am not anybody else but me. I am not trying to be like anybody else but me. The moment you try to be like anybody else but you, brands see right through you. They see that you are not authentic. They see that you're not original. They just see that you are fake, in quotes. I know that we have a lot of content creators that we look up to, a lot of, you know, more popular content creators that inspire you, but let them be an inspiration. Don't go around copycatting what they are doing. Don't go around doing that, because it's going to be so obvious. At the end of the day, your followers are following you for you. They're following you because of who you are, not because of how you are trying to be like somebody else. So try as much as possible to be yourself. This sounds so cliche, but it is so important, you guys. Be yourself, and be yourself. So yeah, guys, that is all I have to share with you in this video. If you enjoyed watching and if you learned a thing or two as a content creator, let me know in the comment section below. Let us discuss. If you have more questions, I would be in the comments, okay, replying as many questions as I possibly can. So ask your questions, ask away in the comments, and I will reply you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching, please be sure to subscribe. 5K is already coming, looking good. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching. Share this video with who you think might find it interesting, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye.